Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Because it's frozen for me.
Hello, what's that? Hi, welcome to TFYLP.
You're frozen, pal.
Episode 507. I don't know, man. I'm not frozen. You're frozen. You're not actually frozen. I'm frozen for you?
No one's frozen.
No,
Not anymore.
You're not frozen. You're a bit glitchy in terms of the video.
Oh,
Yeah, you need some more pixels.
I don't know what to tell you.
You should build an internet tower outside your house.
There you go. We're
That would
live
work.
tonight. We sit here and discuss about our crappy internet connections, apparently. I'm Lucas. I'm joined tonight by Anna. And Christian.
Good evening, friends.
And Phil.
What up?
So, there we go. It's microcasters, right? Oh, thanks a lot, Phil. Showing off, Galaxy Shuttle here, huh? So apparently,
I got some today.
Shipped them out.
Yes. Paul shipped them out.
Yes.
And Paul's apparently shipped my Star Saber, and I'm going to get him tomorrow. All I got was a notice from FedEx that I thought was a phishing scam.
Well, I got a notice from Walmart that my Galaxy Shuttle is delayed, so that's exciting. Also, I did have a question for you guys. So I wasn't sure if your guys' Holiday Prime, mine seemed a little bit weird. So I just wanted to ask, does the box on your guys' Holiday Prime, look like this?
I hope not.
No.
Mine was a little different than that. Mine was slightly more rectangular.
And then, are there,
I didn't order
parts
one, and
that
yours is making me feel like I shouldn't.
What's that? What'd you say, Phil?
The what you're showing me is making me glad I didn't order one.
My trailer seems to be in one general piece.
So
Not many.
you're saying the box shouldn't have things rattling around in?
Probably not.
No.
Hey, Lucas, I got the live stream on, and all I can see is the following is a presentation of tftalk.net. Oh, wait, no. Now it's going.
No, mine is plain. It isn't clean,
Okay.
but it's plain.
Yeah, mine's real choppy there.
Is there
Hold
anyone?
up again.
Oh, I
I
didn't know
don't
they had the Autobot Santa hat logo. That's great.
Very
I
cute.
mean, I guess let me know in the
Very
chat
Santa.
if it's weird. I mean, it looks clear to me, so I don't know.
Okay.
People are commenting, but I don't know if there's.
Maybe it's just really delayed.
I don't know.
I think it's plain now.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah. So my Holiday Prime is nice, and so hopefully this was sent via FedEx. Hopefully your FedEx shipments aren't this busted. So
Hopefully not.
yeah.
Paul
so that's
said we
pretty
should
sad.
invite him.
Oh, Paul wants me to invite him.
Yeah.
He has to make up his mind before the show. Jeez, man.
All right, I'll add him.
We're already having internet problems before.
Right.
But at
Let's
least
see here.
someone else who would care about the Brothers War.
All right, we'll see what happens.
I still don't know what that is.
Paul's in my. Wow, he's actually in a
Oh
box.
my god. This is Paul's new background. It's like in a dark hole.
Are you joining us tonight from your coffin, Dracula?
Hey, if you don't want it, you have to take it.
Is this like that Ryan Reynolds movie where you're stuck in a coffin and like the whole movie is just like you in the coffin trying to get out?
This is my COVID room. There's no lights in this room. Literally.
Oh,
Here,
isolation tank.
let me turn up the brightness. How's that?
There we go.
That's my computer screen. This is gonna be the saddest TFYLP ever.
Is the computer screen just resting on your stomach? Because every time you breathe, your image just goes up and down.
Yes, it's just. I'm literally a massive slob right now. I'm on a bed with no frame, sitting on the floor with a pillow propping my head up, and here comes my dog.
Whoa, you got a pillow?
This is what you get for trying to outdo me.
What?
The
What do you
quality
mean?
is out
You
of this
closed
world
A
this
week or two after I did and moved into your house so quickly. I'm still in my apartment, moving slowly, and you got sick and I didn't. So, ha! That's what you get.
Yes, you actually
Fuck you,
get.
Christian. You got to go see the best movie ever.
I did, actually. It was great. You should have been there. I invited you.
That's good.
You
Good job,
That
guys.
was a week ago.
Cool story.
Is this better?
It's
I'm pretty
better.
sure I saw the best movie ever on Monday.
What's that? The
Violent.
Gary?
Night. The Die Hard Santa
That's
movie.
up there.
It was amazing.
More appealing to
That is more
human
appealing.
beings. All right.
Yeah.
Lucas, what are we
Yeah.
actually doing tonight now that Paul has derailed everything?
Verizon-
Are we
I
live?
think we're just gonna talk
Yes,
about a
we're
trailer.
live.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
live, Paul. Yes, Paul.
And toys.
So, are we talking about your Shattered trailer or the movie trailer?
Well, we talked about the
No, I
Shattered
truly don't
trailer
know the
for a
answer to that question.
minute. So yeah. So anyway,
I don't
Pulse,
think you
We're
showed it, though.
talking
You
about
just
the
showed
movie
box.
trailer. Because
Pulse is supposed to.
we're going to talk about Earthspark, but y'all are never watch it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about the trailer or something. Rise of the Beats or whatever.
Rise of the Best.
We had a choice, right? We could either talk about a 2-minute trailer or an entire 10-episode series of new Transformers content. And we made
Most
the
of us
choice
haven't
to talk
seen
about a
that yet.
trailer. It's because
Well,
you don't
first
watch
off,
it.
Anna,
We actually
is
like
how that works, typically.
Transformers content and you don't watch it.
3 of the 5 of us, I don't think have seen, all of the new 10 episodes yet. So I'm trying to watch it with
Slackers.
my kids, and they didn't. We've been too busy to actually sit down and watch it together. So I'm sorry, Anna. My apologies.
Everybody is covered by the backdrop as she's eating Paul's face.
It was way funnier when she was covered by the backdrop, yes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that COVID, it tastes so delicious.
At least someone loves me.
That's
So yes,
weird.
we plan to talk about a trailer. Not this trailer, but another trailer.
Well, Anna, also,
movie.
you said that you wanted to.
Wait, this trailer?
We need to make this a shorter show tonight. So, I mean, I figured that we could only
It's
go
true.
for like
It's
2
true.
hours on a 2-minute trailer. So,
These fun things on my desk I could talk about, but you're right. We need to focus. We need to focus
Aren't
down
we
that
gonna
trailer.
freeze frame every moment of the trailer and analyze for 2 or 3 minutes on every frame, every cell?
No.
we should.
No,
Oh. Yeah.
no, we're not.
I thought that's what you did if you're a real fan.
Absolutely.
I'd rather
I
see
feel
the
like-
playing cards that do that.
I liked the trailer.
Well,
This is me starting the topic. I liked it. It's not like the most incredible thing in the world I've ever seen, but it looks neat.
I feel like every trailer.
The trailer
was a
Transformers
good
trailer's cool,
display.
right? They can do a good trailer.
Age of Extinction looked bad.
Something has awakened.
the text makes no sense, but that's okay.
Our world has been transforming for millions of years.
Now something else is awakened. What awakened first to make that sentence make sense? No. All right.
Yeah.
So
Lettuce and tomatoes.
Also, the tagline is "Power is primal." That's way too close to Power of the Primes, and also doesn't make any sense. So we'll just move on from all of the text regarding this movie.
I love all the people though that they're like, all right,
But
this
Big
is
Monkey's
such
in
a
it.
great, this is a great reboot. And you're like, what are you talking about? This looks like exactly like all the other Transformers movies. What reboot?
That's just not true. Like, that's factually incorrect.
Right.
There is no reboot, people. I'm sorry to tell you this.
But the
is
studio's
another
using reboot
prequel.
now.
As of when? Like
I know, Paul. I know your theory. I think they're still going for it's a reboot and it's also not a reboot, so that's why it's a prequel, but also a sequel. Who knows where
Not
this
a
takes?
free.
Don't think about it.
Wait, so it's a prequel,
It'll probably
sequel,
have a
and
relative
reboot all
year
in one?
when it happens.
It's
was
in the
all a
90s.
dream.
That's been known for a long, long time.
Look at the value pack you're getting: a prequel, a sequel, and a reboot,
That's true. Lots of value.
A dream.
and a
Trifecta.
period piece about the time most of us were alive.
Mm-hmm. And those nostalgia feels.
Right?
What if the subtext really is it was all a dream and the whole thing is a dream of the main character
Sure.
and there are no Transformers?
It's like
Oh.
what was Haley Steinfeld's character in the first movie in Bumblebee?
Charlie.
So Charlie, when she was diving off the cliff, hit her head, and this has just been all inside of her coma.
That was
It's all a
that's
dream.
very morbid.
Yeah.
So
Lovely
that movie in Bumblebee, that was a horse girl movie, and that was pretty successful as far as Transformers movies go. Like, it was watchable, it was pretty good, even by like normal movie standards, not just Transformers movie standards. Will this also be a horse girl movie? What's horse girl movie sequel? How do you do that? More horses, more girls? It doesn't seem like that.
It seems
Did
like you
anyone
ignore the girl and you make the horse not a major character.
And you make the horse a cheetah?
The horse moved on. No, the horse is much smaller than a cheetah.
Is the horse a rhino?
I think the
horse
horse
is
is
a
a Camaro
bumblebee.
now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, there's
I
horses.
didn't think. Wait, I thought the horse came in Beast Wars Neo.
See, Christian, you can't
No, I'm
use
sorry, Beast Wars 2. Beast Wars 2.
metaphors or analogies with these people. The sarcasm
appreciate you
and the
trying to just
misinterpretations.
Power through that, but you were thwarted.
Did anyone see, or does anyone remember the trailer for Pacific Rim 2?
Super robots?
You know, I really wish there had been a Pacific Rim 2. That first movie was so good. It really deserved a sequel. It's too bad it never happened.
Well, there was a trailer for the movie that I think it had. Phil, do you remember? Was it?
I don't remember the trailer, unfortunately. I've seen the movie. I thought the movie was halfway decent. I don't remember the trailer.
I can't think of the song. There was a song, and I think it was DMX or something that they. I don't know. I'm wrong.
It was like the odds are that it was sabotaged by the Beastie Boys.
No,
that movie's in 50% of the trailers that are out there.
I want you to rewind what you just said because it was funny. But basically, like the trailer was pretty.
Did I just say that
pretty
movie's
hypey.
in 50% of the trailers that's out there?
You said something silly. It was funny. It was a brain fart. But this trailer reminded me of the style and like vibe of the Pacific Rim 2 trailer, and I saw Pacific Rim 2, and it was quite hokey. So
you're saying
but it
because
wasn't
it's similar to that, this might be hokey too.
I'm just saying, like the trailer looks cool, it feels cool, it got everybody excited, which that's what it's supposed to do. That's great. But do not for 1 second forget the previous 6 films. and out before all those.
So I
5 of
want
the
to say,
previous
like,
6 don't.
the thing the trailer got me hyped for were the designs. All the designs look pretty cool.
Mhm.
The thing the trailer did not mention was a plot. So that sometimes worries you. Most movies, when you go in, you have a general idea of what the plot's going to be.
Well, it was
And
a
There's
teaser
plots in
trailer,
Transformers
but they
movies?
they explained. They gave the plot. There was text. Christian and I already covered this.
Something has awakened.
as
Optimus
the world is
Primal's like,
evolving.
of all the things that you've ever faced and all the things you're going to face in the movies that we already made but haven't happened yet in this timeline, this is the worst thing ever. And that's what
I
he
thought
said.
it was this like nothing you've ever faced before.
He says in the future, too. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, cool. So negate all the movies we've already seen.
Yeah.
He says,
You should have just pulled a Magneto and come out and been like, "Welcome to die."
So
Yeah.
one thing,
I really agree
character
with you with the
models.
designs. It seems like this.
What? Are you okay, Christian?
Christian was speaking, sir.
Walked all over me.
I apologize. I'm sorry. Go right ahead, Christian.
Okay. Since Bumblebee happened, they have this design thing that the Decepticons have like the traditional live action Bayverse look where they're kind of crumply and pointy and angular. And the Autobots have like this halfway between the Bayverse stuff and G1 stuff where they're like recognizable and blocky. And you're like, hey, that's a friend. And then the Maximals are very organic. And I think that's a cool look that they've continued and then added to in this one. You can determine who is whom in every shot. They all look different enough now.
It's interesting. I do really hope in one way or another they address the fact that the Maximals are not in disguise in the slightest. Right? Like those are overly large robot animals. They are too big, they are too metal, and they're not in disguise at all. So I hope that is addressed and not just kind of like they come out of the woods and they hang out and then they walk away.
And that was something that I was wondering when it was announced what this movie was going to be about, was how big were, the Maximals going to be? Because, would they be a gorilla that is the size of a gorilla, or would they be Transformer sized? And we've seen from the trailer that they are Transformer sized.
They are massive. That is a big old cheetah.
Yeah. Maybe they can swap. Maybe they can be like, oh, I'm in the zoo. I'm going to be a real cheetah. And then I'm in Peru fighting Decepticons. So I'm big.
So I like to take Paul's idea, and he can actually turn on like cheetah mode where he looks like an actual like soft fuzzy cheetah, but he's still that size. So he's just a cheetah that's like the size of a small house.
Do you think they're going to do the trope where the Transformers, like the Maximals, are like worshipped as gods by the the locals in some way, shape, or form?
Be interesting, but I don't think so.
In 1990,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think they have
it's like,
been.
oh, we're in South America. It's South America. They're not civilized down there. It's the 90s.
The untamed wilds of Peru. And
Not
Machu
true.
Picchu
Okay.
with the train that drives up to it so tourists don't have to climb.
I think probably not currently, at least not there currently, but in the past maybe. I don't know. There's giant animals that live out in the woods. There's probably some legend about them.
Yeah.
Plus the text mentioned millions of years. Maybe they're like, oh, we've been here forever.
I don't think they call it the woods in Peru, but that's maybe me.
The jungle?
Welcome to the jungle.
So one complaint that I've seen online,
Bet you isn't that.
East down, Peru.
One complaint I've seen online about the character models has been with the Beast Wars characters, that they've been too muted, that they're not like interesting enough, I guess, like that there's not enough like colored like differentiation, I guess, like on their colors, that it's too, which I don't know. I know the Dinobots were kind of that way as well, and like a lot of the characters where it's kind of, You know, like I guess at least the colors are somewhat representative of the Beast Wars characters, even if like I would agree that they are somewhat muted. But I didn't know, Christian, like what do you think?
I think if we see one change in the CGI before this comes out, it'll be those guys getting more colors.
I do think it would just look more like, it would look a lot more like Cheetor if there was some blue in his robot mode. You know, there just needs to be a color change because it was something that all the Maximals did. They suddenly had robot colors. They suddenly had classic Transformers, bright, goofy colors instead of their animal outfits. So I think it would be good to have that. But then again, I don't think they actually have to look that much like them. I think they already look enough like their namesake that it'll be fine. You know, like Primal does resemble Primal quite a bit. We get to see good pictures of him. We didn't really get to see clear Cheetor or clear Ares or clear Rhinox really in robot mode. But we get to see Primal enough, and he evokes Optimus Primal, but he doesn't look exactly like him either. He's got more of like a night vibe. He's a little, I don't know, bulkier in a way. He's just a little different, which is probably the right thing.
He's like a barbarian class looking dude.
I like that he has his toy weapons, though. He's got the mace and the double sword. Pretty cool.
So, since the designs are both techno and organic, they be Beast Machines?
Ooh, it's after Beast Machines. The back in time. No
Is this Beast Machines, Optimus Primal, and Cheetor?
Oh, the secret main heroes, Botanica. Finally.
What a twist.
I mean, I will say at least the Beast Wars
I think
characters,
we might see them.
At least the Beast Wars characters look a lot more like, you know, the original animation than whatever the Bayverse characters. I mean, like it wasn't even close on a lot of the, you know, G1 designs. So, at least they have that. But I think it's also interesting, like, we only saw Maximals, right? We didn't see any Predacons?
I don't believe there are Predacons in this movie.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just getting Maximals, unless it's the big surprise. I would still like it if there was a big surprise that there's at least one Predacon, but nothing has suggested that's a thing yet.
They're terror cons.
There's actually not enough bad guys yet, right? Because we got a full cast of good guys, and we only know about what, three bad guys? Three's a lot more than two.
Scourge, no. Battletrap, and Nightbird.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Unicron. Oh.
No, not yet. I don't think yet, but they talked about wanting to do that later.
If
something has awakened.
At 1 minute
maybe he's still in the planet.
Seconds, in the third right quadrant of the frame, you can see a Unicron horn sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, what they'll probably do is something that happens in this movie will be like the impetus for like 20 years from now, the horns will grow. And that will be like the lead into the last night. And then I can laugh all the way to the bank.
And they'll tie it all back together.
I don't understand why you're so fixated on the reboot versus not reboot question, Paul.
He just revealed it. He just revealed why. He just said he's going to laugh on the way to the bank. He has a bet on this. Yeah. He took a bet out with some sort of broker.
Yep.
More design stuff. I did like the look of new RC. I thought she looks cool.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people say that she looks crappy and awful, but I think she looks like she's wearing a tracksuit and she's ready to like run and skate while holding on to vans. She looks great.
Yeah, she looks cool. I like that design. It's different than the way she looks in the Bumblebee movie, but it's actually better in almost every way. Like she looked better in the Bumblebee movie than we had ever seen a movie versus RC look, but now she's more proportional, she's nicer looking, and she looks less like D1 RC a little bit, but she looks cool, and that's fine.
I like her new color too. It's not just pink, it's like mauve or something. I don't know colors. It's darker.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's magenta or red because she has to transition into what she becomes in Revenge of the Fallen, since it's all connected so closely.
I
think it's fun to see RC get a little bit of an updated look because, yes, we've had RC's, in Prime where she was the blue, but, RC is one of those characters that for the most part has been that same design. Like every iteration of her, with a couple small exceptions, has been like the same design versus other Transformers have gotten different tweaks and different, updates to their look. And RC is just like, nope, it's going to be this.
Yeah, because even the Earthspark version is a muscle car. And like that's a different car mode, but her robot mode still looks like every other RC robot mode ever.
Right.
Yeah,
who's the van? We saw that character walking at the end.
The van is apparently Wheeljack. Everyone is saying that is Wheeljack.
Wheeljack,
Okay.
Not Q.
Yeah, luckily, even if Paul's right and they're all interconnected, that's when they can just like swipe under the rug and say that was never Wheeljack. That was just a weird guy.
Yeah,
it's just a really ugly robot we made. Yeah,
oh God, he's ugly.
Yeah.
Mirage looks good, I think, and he did the Hound thing, not the Mirage thing.
Yeah, it still looked
cool.
He
did the Hound thing,
but it did look really cool.
Yeah,
it still looked really cool.
Can't wait for his mouth to move and Pete Davidson to come out.
Surprise!
Really
excited. It's gonna ruin it all, but like. Why would they? That scene is so cool. They gave it all away in the trailer. That's probably the coolest, like, Transformer-y thing that happens in this film.
But that's the tradition that these movies have, is that the coolest shots are in the trailer. They take a 2-hour movie that's pretty garbage and condense it down to the 2 minutes that's cool, put it in the trailer, we get excited, we walk into the theater, 2 hours later, we're sad.
Because, like, if I think back, the first movie where Sideswipe showed up, they showed almost every action scene he had in the trailers, right? And he pretty much didn't appear in the movie otherwise.
I don't think they showed him cutting the one dude in half.
I thought they did show the cut in half on a trailer, but it's so iconic. It's just written into my brain forever.
They definitely showed most of it. I don't remember if they showed the actual cutting, but most of it,
yeah.
I think they showed the fight, I think they showed most of his action scenes. He didn't have anything but action scenes.
Everyone just passed over this amazing thing Phil just said, where he mentioned the thing that I forgot. We can all look forward to that sense of sadness after we leave the theater for the first time, because it is the same time, and it is
I did not have that after B.
Cutting.
I didn't have that after B. I agree.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right.
But the movie was fine. But
I was actually hyped up after
I think also the climate's changed.
I feel like
we've actually had multiple successful translations of 80s franchises or video games since then. But between the first set of Transformers movies and now, we've had Detective Pikachu, we've had Sonic the Hedgehog, and we've had Lego movies, and we've had things that actually translate kid properties or video games into reasonable movies that are not exactly the same as the source material. So I think walking away from those old movies and just using Bumblebee as a baseline, I think they can do it again. The trailer did not tell me that they are, because it didn't, it was more focused on showing as many designs as they could and as many cool things as they could, and not on telling me what the story is. But I think it can happen. I don't have that. I'm not going specifically to sit beside my husband and watch his reactions like I was on the last night. The last night was like pretty much me sitting there facing him the whole time, because all of his faces were priceless. Because not being a fan, he hadn't watched the other movies. He was just like, what the hell? This doesn't make any sense. It was great entertainment. I don't think I have to do that for this movie. We'll see. Part of the way through, I might just heard, but I'm hoping to actually watch the movie again and enjoy it.
I think I had an existential crisis after the last night.
I did too.
Oh, I watched the last night with you. The last night, it was me, Paul, and I think maybe 2 or 3 other of our friends. Serge might have been there. I don't quite remember. And we went out to actually the movie theater that's right by the hotel where TFCon is at. And we went and got, fairly well, liquored up before we went and saw the movie. And then not liquored up enough because halfway, maybe a third of the way through that movie, my buzz wore off. I'm like, oh, this is awful. And I remember there were jokes in the last night that other people in the theater laughed at. And I got angry. Being like, that is an awful joke. Why on earth are you laughing at this?
I had a great time watching that movie, but it had nothing to do with the movie being good and everything to do with the movie being bad. I love watching
You were
bad
always the coolest. That's the only line I remember.
I don't even remember that line.
It's when God, who's the really famous dude that was in that movie?
Marky
The old
Anthony
guy?
Hopkins.
Yeah, when Anthony Hopkins
Hopkins.
dies, Cogman goes, "You were the coolest." Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, God.
God, I totally forgot he was in that movie. I forgot that Anthony Hopkins was in a Transformers movie. I feel so sorry for that man. I mean, why should I feel sorry? He cashed a big check. It was his decision.
Yep, that's the truth of it.
Yeah, he has shamelessly stated that he will do lots of different things for money.
So, Paul, Jose in
And
the
more power
chat
to
says
him.
that the director did confirm that Rise of the Beast is a reboot and a sequel at the same time. So
That is an impossibility. You can't be both. You can't. It doesn't exist.
But see, a
It's either
Transformers
the same
movie,
story or it's not.
a Transformers movie, I think, is the perfect platform for a reboot and a sequel.
The perfect platform to actually contradict itself in the description of the movie.
What does that mean?
Right.
Unless it's trying to retroactively pull Bumblebee into reboot.
Honestly,
it's just a sequel to Bumblebee. It's a reboot. It's from the Bumblebee reboot universe.
in this franchise, the director is used as a tool at this point to get the movie made. He doesn't really get a say in this. I know that sounds insane, but it's those executive producers that are in charge of this stuff.
Is Bonaventura still on this one? Probably.
They all are.
I think
They're
these guys
never
are
going to
on
let go.
life.
Yeah, they're never going to let it go until it loses the money.
Is to say it makes billions of dollars. This is why they don't want to let it go.
Sure.
Bonaventura is the one who ruined last night. Not that it was ever going to be super, but they did try to get real scripts after Age of Extinction was so bad. And then Bonaventura was like, oh, these three are really good. Let's make these three. And they were like, okay, cool. Make 3 movies. Yay. No. Make these 3 into 1 movie. No, pal. That's not how writing works.
No. So, let's not forget Michael Bay and Bay Pictures is probably like #1 build.
Probably.
Like on the credits of this. And Michael Bay took a little hike up Machu Picchu with the director and made a little Instagram video. He's not playing reboot with this, He's got skin in the game.
Bay as like an artist, as a person is a whole other thing, but like whatever. Michael Bay is what he is. We know what that is.
Giant sack of crap.
As an artist, we know what he is. As a person, we also know what he is. But I'm not talking about that right now.
Well, he's involved, and if he's involved, it's the same shit. Like
no.
The reason
that's not
I don't like the idea of the night verse because there's only one. Forget the director. There's only one Transformer verse. It sucks, and we're stuck with it for now. But get over it. Stop pretending there's multiple versions. We got what we got. Sorry.
There's no reason for it to have to. There's no reason to actually ever have to answer that question because they can just stay in the past, right? They've got many years to play with because they can just be like, we're in the 90s now, and this next one takes place 3 months later, and then 3 months later, and then 3 months later. It's going to take a bazillion movies to get caught back up to when 2007, when the first Transformers took place. So it'll be fine. So
it would be awesome
to ever answer that question.
They should make Transformers 2005, the live action movie, and it's like future space crazy. Like totally way, exactly like the animated film. And then it has nothing to do with actual timelines of humanity.
Well, the genius of the Transformers movies, none of them have to make any sense. So they can do it at any time. They can go anywhere because none of them, all the movies are just loosely connected anyway. So none of it matters. But
yeah, I think in this day and age,
MacGuffin hunt.
Yes, I think in this day and age when everything is so connected because Marvel did really well. We need to remember that not all movies have to be that, and most movies aren't that. So take a step back. Continuity doesn't matter in Transformers. The live action movies, at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of them.
I'm going to go with that. I agree with that.
So
I would say that no film franchise has ever made as much money as the one that made sense and is all interconnected, and so they're all failing to, make the same impact. So you're right, Christian, but they also can't compete with that. Hey, what about MacGuffin Hunt?
They're not going to try.
Well, they should. Hey, MacGuffin Hunt, there's a new MacGuffin, according to the bio of some of the toys. Did anyone catch this?
No.
Not yet.
I read it and didn't encode it. What is it called, Paul?
The Transwarp Key.
Yeah, see, I read the bio. I read one of the toy bios, and they put the toys up yesterday or whatever. And I was like, oh, there's a story here that I just didn't encode it at all and moved on with my life.
Transwarp Key. All right. It's a thing. They got to go get it, probably, or destroy it, maybe.
Maybe that's how they go into the future and the past in this movie. To maybe awaken something.
Knows. It's the worst thing.
Is Transwarp a thing from Beast Wars?
Yeah.
Or is it completely made up?
Transwarp is how they do the time travel thing in Beast Wars, so yeah, you're right. Well, you might be right. We'll see the movie and find out.
Wait a minute. They're not allowed to use like loose connections to the actual like content. I mean, that's not allowed in, Michael Bay movies.
What?
It's the Transwarp Key of Vector Sigma 6.
I hope that's not real. I believe you.
Man, I hope if they bring back Vector Sigma, they call him Vector Sigma 6.
Oh, that would kill me.
Logistics dudes all over the world would be like, yeah! They did it for me.
I'm reading the bio thing to get the Transwarp Key in context. So I'm reading Battletrap's bio. He fires a barrage of blasts at Noah and Elena. So I guess that's Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback. To secure the Transwarp Key. That's it. That's all it says. That's the story.
Yep. Human A and Human B.
Wait.
Human B.
Is Battletrap somehow a Corvette?
No.
I don't think so.
Cool. Because
Corvette tow truck?
in the fine print on Hasbro Pulse, it says Chevrolet, the bow tie logo, Corvette, and the Corvette logo, and Camaro are registered trademarks of General Motors. Maybe that's just general live action stuff. Although are there any Corvettes in this movie? I don't think so.
Not that we know of so far.
No, I mean,
Bobby has it too. I think it's just all the
was
Chevrolet GM stuff.
Yeah.
Bumblebee doesn't say anything about the Transwarp Key.
So it was interesting that the toys got revealed, right after this trailer came out, and Bumblebee's number 100, which does not shock me. I just didn't think it was going to be this Bumblebee was number 100. But I did want to point out one thing. He does. It is after Bumblebee movie, the Bumblebee movie in the 80s, because he's still got the boots. Got the Bumble boots.
Well, it also appears to be a remold of the same kind of Bumblebee mold they've been using for a little bit here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I can't tell exactly which figure it is, but
they're all kind of engineered from the Last Night one, and then they got a new mold, but same engineering for Series 1, I think. The Junker Bee. So it's all kind of the same-ish. Now, the boots look like the ones from Off-Road Bee, which makes sense because it's a B movie. His backdrop is the Volcano Showdown. He's going to have a showdown in a volcano, apparently.
It's interesting that we're getting Studio Series toys before the movie comes out, and this is the first time I believe that's happened. Yeah, because the Studio Series line didn't even start until after Bumblebee. So, it's like, oh yeah, these look exactly like the movie. Like, just trust us. Just trust us. You haven't seen the movie yet, but these look exactly like they will in the movie.
Well, they did have an additional year to work on them, so I have a little bit more confidence in it than I did last time.
Yeah.
When's the movie out?
June.
Yeah, these toys are supposed to ship in April, so that tracks with ramping up to movie release.
Like Bumblebee's got that big panel on his back. It's like I doubt he's got that in the movie.
Battletrap's scene is Attack at the Museum.
That's what I wanted the movie to be. I'm still disappointed this isn't Night at the Museum in a zoo, but
you just
it's
wanted
okay.
The fossilizers in the movie.
I would love fossilizers in the movie.
Apparently, Battletrap also contains an homage to our departed friend Bernie Mac.
Yes, Bernie on the side panel there.
Yeah, it's Bernie on the side panel.
Yep.
Which is cool and neat.
Yeah, I enjoyed that detail.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's all the information I can glean from Hasbro Pulse. Except that on Bumblebee's listing, it exclusively says several times that this toy is for 8-year-old boys and girls. So I guess we're all 8-year-old boys and girls. Good job, everyone. We did.
So, real quick note on that. My son will be 8 when this comes out. This will be the first of the Transformers movies that I'll take him to see in the theater. That'll be a fun experience. He was excited when he saw the trailer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And immediately just start giving him.
Mm-hmm. What did you say, Anna?
Immediately just start giving him Studio Series toys, so he hates the hobby.
Yeah, I just want to be the best dad ever and get him a toy that's $10 over retail and be the best dad ever.
Where did this Studio Series hate come from? Last time I checked, you all were buying Studio Series.
I know. I'm referencing the joke that Paul gets and none of the rest of you get, but it made Paul laugh, so I'm okay with it.
I don't hate Studio Series. I think Studio Series is needlessly complex. I think typically Studio Series toys are more frustrating to play with than like mainline. So in all my, especially Movieverse toys, I just haven't had as fun experiences with them.
I think I've only gotten the 86 and Bumblebee Studio Series toys, and I found those to be entertaining.
That Volkswagen Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie was not an entertaining Studio Series toy.
I did not get that one, so.
It was a torture piece.
Flashbacks. Oof.
Yeah, right?
I love that toy.
Great. Good for you.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't know. I think that they're just a little harder to play with, significantly harder to play with in some cases. But Battletrap doesn't look like he will be, so hopefully he's actually a fun toy.
Yeah, these two look pretty fine. Those are the only toys we've seen so far, other than that Primal Mask, and I definitely want that.
Well,
yeah, that's cool.
In 2 different air razors.
Yes. And 2 different air razors. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen air leakers.
a studio series and non-studio series Hellraiser, which was confusing.
Yeah, the studio series one definitely, after seeing just the designs of the characters, that definitely is going to sway it a lot closer to what we're going to see on the screen. Because that first toy we saw of her was just so out of left field. It does not look like anything movie related. It looks like a cute cartoon Eraser, which I liked. I liked it quite a bit, but I never really expected the movie designs to look like that.
It's
got to be like Power Attackers or something. I don't know if they're going to use that name again, but it'll be what that is.
I doubt. I have no idea, but they could both. They could both be studio series toys, and they could be more like fictional differences between them, like version 1 and version 2.
I don't know.
I thought I read somewhere, and maybe this was just a theory, but I thought I read that the one is going to be studio series, and the other one's going to be more of like a mainline, and the mainline is not going to be slavish to the movie screen.
I think that's the thinking beyond it. Let me show another crazy theory. How about one of them is Eraser and the other one is someone else, but also a bird?
Could be.
Also possible.
This is great. We're theory crafting here.
We got Eraser, then we got Bird Boss. It's going to be the name of the new bird. Is Bird Boss.
Big bird.
Well, I mean, I do think, like, Phil, if your kid goes to see the movie and, you're not going to want to buy in the studio series toys, right? Like those probably just, will still be a little bit too old for him. And so, I think it would make sense to have another line that fits in more to that, whatever, 6 to 8 year old or 6 to 10-year-old demographic.
Yeah, I think you're right. One of the things I did find interesting, though, with the studio series Eraser is that she is a remold, and I don't see any part sharing of the Kingdom Eraser. I've seen comparison pictures, and she's quite a bit larger, not quite a bit, but larger than the Kingdom Eraser. But it's like the transformation scheme is nearly identical. So I was surprised with that, with Studio Series Eraser and Kingdom Eraser being so similar there.
It's one of those. Yeah.
No, it's not a remold, but they share.
Every single part is new. Yeah, same engineering.
Yeah, exact same engineering.
And why not? They made a good-looking bird with Eraser. Do it again.
Yeah, I just wasn't a giant fan of the head, and this one is similar. Like that. I think the other side of it too is that I thought what we saw of what might be that mainline Eraser, the first Eraser we saw, both the bot mode and the bird mode blew me away. That was the best transforming bird I think I've seen.
It looks like a good toy. Yeah, it really does. But I would say that the other one actually has a much better head. Like, just from what we saw of the Studio Series one, I think that head is a big improvement compared to Kingdom Eraser. Kingdom's Eraser's head was just like a nice little bird you see in your backyard that you want to pet and say, excellent job, existing bird. And
you sing it songs and helps dress you in the morning.
Yeah, that kind of bird. But this one looks a little angrier. This one looks a little more like it's going to be humongous and shoot missiles.
And is that Eraser shooting flames out of his mouth in the trailer?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some missiles too, right?
Thing that she's known
missiles? Or did I make up the wing missiles? Because I just decided it was Falcon Zord.
I think you made that up.
Okay.
She's just
wrong franchise, Anna.
She is Michelle Yeoh, which is pretty cool.
Say again?
Eraser's Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, for the voice actor.
Her voice actress, yes. Yeah, we got one casting that was pretty cool, and then one casting that was Pete Davidson. We got those two announced together.
I thought we got a few cool castings. Peter Dinklage's Scourge sounds like it would be fun.
That's true. DiMaggio's back as Stratosphere, who we haven't seen yet, but I wonder if it's the same Stratosphere dude from Revenge of the Fallen.
That'd be cool.
It'd be DiMaggio's third character in Transformers. That's pretty interesting.
I mean, prolific voice actor, in my opinion.
Yep. And then they got somebody else as somebody else. I can't remember the third casting.
I hope they use the transwarp key to go to the Revenge of the Fallen timeline and pull Stratosphere back into the 90s.
Sure. Do you guys think that with the main characters being a studio series and they're also maybe possibly being a mainline, that we'll see something similar to 07, where there's non-screen characters showing up, and those non-screen characters are the remainder of the Maximals, like Rat Trap or Dinobot?
I think it's very possible. I think it was more than just the 07 series that we saw that, especially when you look at like some of the smaller class sizes. We were getting a lot of
tapered off
characters
as time went on, but yes, it did continue.
Well, all that stuff was from, scrapped ideas. They weren't like, hey, let's put Wheeljack in here for some reason. Like RC was almost in the movie. That's why she got a toy. That's why, and Wreckage was almost in the movie. The rest of them were all the video game characters. There weren't a lot of it was all cutting room floor stuff. It wasn't really.
Yeah, but then you get to Revenge of the Fallen, you get stuff like Mind Wipe. That was not cutting room floor. Skystalker may have had a face design somewhere, but particularly that line had Lockdown is
but
animated, not really a movie design. You know what I'm saying?
You're also talking about an era where the brand was a barf, a straight up barf. Like you couldn't tell what was what.
I think if they're making this movie and they're trying to cash in on my people's nostalgia for Beast Wars, my people will miss their favorite buddies. There's already no Predacons. Might as well make the remainder of the Maximals.
Well, all their favorite buddies just got released in Kingdom, so I mean,
they don't know
still
that.
Being released. And what do you mean they don't know that?
They're not toy people. They just see the movies.
Okay, well, okay, I get what you're saying. Sure, it'd be great if they did some things that were not in the movie, but I would imagine they would have to have been stuff they were planning to do. Not just let's put a spider in it just for the hell of it,
So,
or maybe we'll get another sequel and they'll be in there. I don't know.
That
maybe
could fit into how it could be a sequel and a reboot. It says, is it a multiverse movie that happens to be a reboot and a sequel? And that's why there's multiple air racers.
That's the transwarp key.
Then
guess what? It would still all be the same story. It would still be the same story from a start to finish thing. That's a multiverse does not change that. In fact, it enhances it.
It would never happen, but if they had a scene where they're in some cave and the transwarp key has unlocked some portal, and you just have the screen, and on the screen are Transformers Prime and Armada and 86 and Japanese Victory is in there as well, and it's just this is all part of the universe, and there's new stuff we haven't seen before. And
great, then Pete Sinclair will make a post from the BotCon official Twitter saying, "Look, BotCon did it first, yeah." And then you can get Shattered Glass and please buy our box robots that no one bought at Agabus Toys. Do it quick, please. Christmas.
Formerly at Darkside Toys.
Oh, boom! For those of you that didn't know, Dorkside has gone under. Kind of sad. They were they were a good company. What the hell happened there?
Yeah, they officially, there was rumors for a little bit, and then today, I believe they officially posted on their website that December 18th they are finito.
Bummer. Ew. Hopefully they can find a transwarp key and go back to where they made their business mistakes and can fix them. I love this transwarp key. Where did? Oh boy.
Wait, hang on a second. You know who else uses keys? They're not transwarp keys, but they do use transwarping in it. Freaking Animated. What if this Elena girl is actually Sorry? Or version.
There you
go.
By
Sorry.
What?
She's got it because Sorry has the Allspark key, but they already used the Allspark, and it's actually if they're still a prequel, it's not their yet, or it's in Hoover Dam. Whatever, they've already used this. They got to get a new MacGuffin, but it's like, this is the key that repairs all the Transformers, and we have to, whatever.
I just want it to be
connection.
The first MacGuffin that, like, this MacGuffin helps us unlock, which is the ultimate MacGuffin.
No,
I just hope there's an after credit scene with Megatron and Hoover Dam, and then I could be like, ha ha.
Does that complete the set? Has Lucas actually talked over all of us now, or does he still need a new film?
Yeah,
okay,
I think it's because he's delayed behind the rest.
It is literally a delay. Yeah, it's not his fault. It's just been funny.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a slight delay tonight with the stuff, so every time I try to get in, and plus I think it's the 5 people kind of hurts, but. All right. Well, there we go. Now we have all silence.
Yeah.
We're leaving the floor open for you, Lucas.
There you go. Well, I was gonna say, Christian.
I don't want to start talking and have you interrupt me again, because that would just hurt my feelings.
Lucas, what?
No. I
Go ahead,
don't
Lucas.
even want to say it now.
Lucas, you also have like a slight delay in your audio,
Yeah.
so it just sounds like you're drunk.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you require of me, Lucas?
I really.
I was gonna say, what if all the toys came with a transwarp key and could activate various play features?
Hey, that's pretty cool. I'd be into that.
I'd use my
They just have
transform key to go back in time to Cyberverse, to Cybertron, and say, guess what? There's going to be a movie with your gimmick in it a million years in the future. Has awakened.
That would be neat.
I hope something has awakened, becomes the next This War. Just becomes the like awful thing we say over and over.
Go to TFCon.
Something has awakened in this economy.
The roommates. Something has awakened. It's just Phil.
It could be your alarm at TFCon. Something has awakened.
And it's just Lucas going down to breakfast.
You know how, like, the first movie they sold that little dancing bumblebee, like, Bluetooth machine? This one will be an alarm that just does what Lucas just said.
It's Optimus Primal. He's like, something has awakened.
Surges will go off 5 times before he actually gets out of bed to turn it off.
No, like the Unicron horns, like, pop up with noise and like that's how you get woken up.
Something has
Not the
awakened.
Unicron horns again.
So, like, it's totally Unicron, right? I mean, that's what they're doing.
Unless they're
You're
doing the
Unicron.
Thanos' Megatron thing. Or I guess Megatron is Thanos thing. Because they still don't have Megatron in the B movies. So, like, maybe he's so bad that he only shows up in the third one. I don't know.
Well, you know why he's not there. He's in Hoover Dam.
Unless they're like, maybe he's not because they finally decide to do the thing and make it a reboot. We'll see. But yes, otherwise you're right. They have that design for him in the B style, so it's like, oh.
Yeah, but then they realized, oh shit, he's in the dam. Whoops, we don't need this.
Yeah.
They could use this sort of what, like, the talk is with the DC movies, that the new Flash movie is going to, like, allow them to reset timelines so you can forget it or not. And maybe that's what this transwarp key will do.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not
But
like
then
Megatron's
still-
appearance has ever made sense anyway.
It
He
would
became
still
big. He was
be
rebuilt in
the
Galvatron,
same
and suddenly
story.
he was Megatron again. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe he leaves the dam and goes for a stroll in this movie. You know, who cares? John Cena has to catch him again. That's the third movie. John Cena, John Turturro, team up. catch Megatron and put him in the dam again. All right.
Yeah.
Has Simmons, the character, been in all 7 films?
Was he in the?
He was, but I don't know if he was in Age of the Last Night. He was in one of them.
He was in one of them. I don't think he was in the other.
He was in Cuba, right? Like,
yeah,
he was on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Top spin with Leadfoot's head.
Yeah.
Whichever one. I think that was 5. Ugh. Yes, he was in Cuba.
Ryan Vengeance Tech just said at the cinema they could give out transwarp keys with 3D glasses, which are really drug pills you swallow that make you forget the past 3 hours.
That just seems illegal.
That's like a good idea. Oh, you missed the comment. They also said, I hope they use the transfer key to go get some Kiss players and give us the Kiss player movie we really all want.
Well,
it seemed like such a Michael Bay thing to do back in 2007 to 2009, and yet it didn't happen.
Oh my goodness! Yes, that would have made perfect sense to have a woman not wearing very much clothes that makes out with Transformers to make them powerful. That would have fit right with the Bayverse sexualization nonsense.
Doesn't Charlie kiss Bumblebee underwater, bring him back at the end?
Am I making too many clothes for that?
I think you made that up.
Yeah, for sure.
I've only seen it once.
That sounds like a cute ending.
Well, she does dive into the water, right? She saves Bumblebee by diving into
the completion of her arc. Yes,
but
yes.
So what does she do? Just the feeling of jumping into water wakes him up. I don't know.
I think she uses the Matrix into his chest in the desert, and he wakes up.
And no. She takes the chains from that crane and pulls them out, and then he uses those chains to kill Dropkick.
Oh, okay. Which was cool. That was a cool moment. Cool. It was a cool Transform moment that wasn't in the trailer.
Nope. So there's room for coolness in the movie. I'm sure it'll be fine. Ramos is a good actor. I've never seen Fishback in anything.
We're going to have some major robot action in this movie. You can tell. You can just see from the seconds of giant battle that we've seen. There's going to be some madness.
Yeah. I think they're learning not to focus on humans, which is something we've wanted all along.
Question for you folks. A lot of the trailer focuses on Mirage. Will Mirage be the Bumblebee-esque character in this movie, or will B be the Bumblebee character?
So I've had to hear this theory from my husband about 600 times since the trailer came out, but he is absolutely certain that he's going to take the Bumblebee role and then die tragically so Bumblebee can have his role back. That is what he is determined that will be the plot line.
Well, I got a pretty strong suspicion Mirage ain't making it out of this movie alive. So you might be right. Because he's clearly way too cool to not be in Transformers 2007.
No, but he could be like Ironhide and be cool and die in 3 movies from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they could do that.
That's putting a lot of faith in this movie, though, to make multiple follow-ups. We really need to be rooting for this stuff to fail hard so they can actually reboot it.
It's not gonna happen.
That's what I've been trying to say, but the hype machine infects us all.
I don't know. Do we really want... What would be the actual wait for a pure entire reboot? New design characteristics, everything is just utterly different. Since this took 5 years, how long does it take for us to get a real reboot? 15?
Less than 10.
Less than 10. Okay. 8.7.
Yeah, it can be 5 years. I mean, it depends. It's all a money thing. Who wants to invest the money to start it over?
Look at what they did with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah. They did that real quick.
Spider reboots quickly. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
and Batman. I mean, they do that all the time. You know.
Yeah.
I was about to say that was a really long time between 2011 and 2022, but that's because I completely forgot about Affleck. I blacked all of that out of my brain.
Batfleck was good, man.
I mean, not really, but okay.
He didn't ever get the chance. We never saw the full potential. All we got was that stupid Superman movie.
Yeah, Dawn of Martha, Dawn of Sadness. And that terrible Justice League movie that I had to see twice. The second time it was 4 hours and worse. Horrible. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know how we're getting off on that tangent. So,
I'm not going there.
Oh God!
The important
could you
idea is
imagine
that there are worse than Transformers movies. There are worse things out there.
Yes.
Wait. Could you imagine though if like some online troll group started like, we want the Babers cut. Give us the Babers cut.
Oh no.
I mean, I will say the one thing for the movies in general is the B movie was not like a huge movie like with like a huge scope. And I think that this movie definitely seems like, at least from the previews, that it is going to be that big movie again. So, I mean, from that standpoint, I think that will be kind of cool. It's just hopefully they've learned from, The Last Night and some of those and made it a decent movie. So we'll see.
We'll see.
That's a real fair point, Lucas, because that was one of the things that made the B movie much better. Was it was scaled down considerably. You didn't have to, have characters on the screen for only 5 seconds to sell a toy. You've seen though plenty of the Marvel movies have had characters on the screen for a relatively short amount of time, and it still has been juggled well. So, I don't know. It's tough to say. Obviously, it's all conjecture and hypothesizing.
I think I've said this on the show before, but the strengths of the first 3 movies and B are more evidenced by the loss of those things in 4 and 5, and that's a clear central story. Like the first Transformers movie is a boy gets a car. The second one is boy goes to college and learns how to be who he is. The third one is you got to find a job in the real world and deal with that. Those are very relatable stories. At a very base level, those are relatable stories. 4, what is that about? 5, what is that about? And then B is the horse girl movie, a girl and her best friend who's not a human. That's a movie we've seen a dozen times before.
Now,
those
Kristen,
are recognizable stories.
I know that's the common explanation of the first few Transformers movies, but I think you're giving way too much credit to them to say they're that coherent. They fit that bill for like the first 20 minutes of the movies, and then they go off the rails. Because
that's enough to get you in.
I don't think the second. I agree with the first one being a story about a boy finding a car, but the next 2, the guy goes to college and the guy finds up like you.
The second one is the weakest.
I have to squint real hard to even remember that those 2 things happen in those movies.
And the second one is pretty squinty to see because it does pretty much after he's kidnapped the college. The idea of it being anything about college pretty much is over at that point.
Yeah,
3 does
as soon as
continue to
Grindor
be
shows
the
up, college is done. Then it's forest fight.
Mm-hmm. And then it's MacGuffin hunt.
3 did keep with the plot though. Like it was throughout. Like, why are you a failure? Get your adult life together.
Mm-hmm.
Human story. So I'll agree with that. 4 was all about being a dad and dealing with your daughter dating someone older than her. That was the central theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Everyone's favorite part of that movie.
Sure.
Like, there's not a central through line story. I mean, Revenge of the
Only
Fallen
5.
very hard. Like 4 and 5 have nothing. There's nothing there.
I don't know. Last night was the older person love story. It was the pre-middle age love story. It was so cute. Such a cute love story.
I think both of you are giving way too much credence. I think Anna, you're a bit tongue in cheek, but you guys.
Oh, this is pure sarcasm. Yeah, I know. Those last two movies there have nothing going for them, really.
No. And I would say even the first three movies, like there's plots in there, but it's bad.
As much as it annoys Paul, though, like it really does feel better to draw a line. Like drawing a line and removing Bumblebee from those 5 movies just feels better. Like it's like psychologically, it just feels cleaner to draw that line and be like, okay, Bumblebee's safe. Bumblebee was a movie.
I mean, that's why the argument exists, is because people want to get rid of the babe. They don't like what we have. It's an emotional response. It's like, I like this, but not that, and they want to pretend it doesn't all exist, you know. But they're headcanoning it, and I'm sorry, headcanon doesn't exist. Only the real canon. These canon.
Listen, I get it. Like, we can't all just have like our own fan fiction version of this. The Bumblebee car at the end, the car that Bumblebee is at the end of the first movie is the same car that he is in the start of the car that Bumblebee is at the end of Bumblebee is the same car that he is at the start of the first movie. So there are connections, there are tangents, and that's the car he's going to be in for a good chunk of this movie, at least appears. So yeah, there are a lot of things that connect it. You could make the argument either way. I don't think Paramount / Hasbro gives a hoot. They're going to make a movie. They don't care. So, I mean, if this director says one thing, guess what? It'll probably be another director that'll come in with the next movie and might say the complete, contradictory thing. It's a fruitless argument.
Yeah, it is. That's what you just said. There shouldn't be an argument. There's only one answer. So, pretty easy.
Yeah,
the only answer is
the answer sucks. Like, the answer sucks. I know it. Like,
I'm just glad that we've managed to go over an hour discussing a 2-minute trailer. So good job, guys. I think we went on plenty of tangents.
Yay.
So yeah. So before we wrap up, I do want to mention book club this week is going to be Optimus Prime 22 and then Unicron's 0 and 1. So that should be very exciting. That is on the tftalk.net Discord on Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. So any
getting
final
close
thoughts?
to saying goodbyes.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up, guys?
Do you guys want to do an epic unboxing show this weekend? We could record the unboxing of the ultimate transforming Santa train machine Loco Christmas.
I really considered that.
Chugga.
Ooh,
This is gonna make my Christmas deck decor beautiful.
I love that name.
In case you're listening, I showed off an amazing, I don't even know what the hell it is that I got off Amazon that is a train set that you can take apart and build a Santa Mac. It is terrific. And I will show all sorts of pictures of it in the TF Talk Discord server where I share pictures of all of my favorite horrible creatures.
I really hope that was under $10.
Anna is
free to join
of the island of misfit toys.
Yes.
Oh God, no! It was $8,000 million.
Oof.
Very expensive.
Fudge.
I'm good now.
Oh, I remember. Is he supposed to be Crazy Christmas? Local Christmas?
I'm good. I'm ready to go play with my Magic the Transforming
There
cards.
Ooh. Galaxy Shuttle Blast.
All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys joining in tonight, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to Zaldron. Thanks to Ron. Thanks to David. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Jose.
Thanks to Lucas for interrupting us.
Yeah, I appreciate
I didn't
that,
give a
of course.
final thought.
All right, Paul. What's your final thought?
What's your final thought, Paul's nose?
My final thought is I think Nightbird's going to look cool and save this movie.
There you go.
That's it.
Glad we waited for that.
Me too.
All right, Christian, you got
It's going
anything
to be a
before we wrap?
Nightbird Christmas.
No, I'm good, man.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Don't get COVID.
Good night.